Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about hashing. So, what basically is hashing? So, hashing it means that basically when we try to access a huge database, indexing is generally we use indexing in order to access any data in a database. But when your database is large or huge, when the number of rows in your database is huge, indexing will not be a proper way, or indexing might not give you appropriate result. Therefore, we go about using hashing. So hashing technique is basically used to calculate the direct location of a data that is stored in your disk without using the index structure. Okay. So what are the terminology that we use in hashing is data buckets. So data buckets are the memory locations where the records are stored. So you have a set of memory locations, and in that memory locations are where the data is stored, and data buckets is called as that particular location where the data is stored. Key in a DPMS is an attribute or a set of attributes that helps you to identify a row or tuple in a relation. Hash function is a mapping function which maps all the set of search keys to the address where the actual records are placed. Hash index is a prefix of an entire hash value. And double hashing is a computer programming method used in hash tables to resolve the issues of collision. And bucket overflow is a condition of bucket. It is a condition which is also called as collision. So basically, there are two types of SQL hashing, that is static hashing and dynamic hashing. So static hashing basically means your result or the address of which a particular record is stored is fixed. Okay, for example, if you have a set of memory locations with employee IDs like starting from 101, 103, and so on, every time you try to access the data of 103, it will always give you the same address. So it is not changing, it is static, it doesn't change. So there is no change in the bucket address. So what are the different types of operations that you can perform is searching a record, inserting a record, deleting a record, and updating a record. What do you mean by bucket overflow? So bucket overflow is basically when you're trying to insert a new record into your memory location, and the hash function will give you an address where the data should be stored. So the address if the data is already stored in the address which is being specified by a hash function, then that particular condition is called as bucket overflow. So in order to overcome bucket overflow, you have the dynamic hashing method where your data bucket will grow or shrink based upon the records that is inserted or deleted. So if you are inserting new records, your data bucket will increase or it will grow. And if you are trying to delete a record, your data bucket will decrease. Thereby, each time you will not be getting the same address. It will vary because because your data buckets will grow or shrink, or it will increase or decrease based upon the data you try to insert or delete into your database. Okay, so that is about hashing.